Today I'm taking a look at a $100 guitar that Darrell Braun said is fantastic. Yes, it's the Indio Classic Stratocaster, which Darrell Braun featured on his channel. It's not the actual guitar. So what Darrell did was he did the whole unboxing thing. I'm not into unboxing things, but here's a bit of unboxing for you. See what I did there? Unboxing. So, now that we have the unboxing done, what does the guitar look like? Well, first of all, I've taken a bit of video of it from different angles so you can see what it really looks like, but the back of the neck, the wood looks fine. I mean, for a $100 guitar, it's quite nice. The parts look cheap, so the Whammy Bar doesn't look great. The pickups look like some kind of cheap stuff. Tuners look like something you'd get on Squire Bullet or Affinity. Actually, the Whammy Bar also looks like that. But on a positive note, it does look, I mean, it's fairly nicely done, and the finish is nice. I mean, for $100, this is quite nice. So, we've already done some stuff to this guitar, because out of the box, just as Darrell Braun had on his channel with his guitar, there were some issues with it. First of all, he was missing the Whammy Bar. I actually got the Whammy Bar when I bought this. But other than that, there was a bit of stuff that had to be done. You had to set up the neck because it was a bit crooked. There was quite a bit of fret sprout right out of the box, which so my luthier friend did a proper job of filing down the fret ends. He does it better than me. But now that it's been lying around for a couple of weeks, it's starting to have more fret sprouts, so we have to redo that at some point. But it's not too bad at the moment. Fixed the nut, tightened everything up here. And what else did we do? I say we, I mean he. One of the things that was nice, because he removed the neck. The body is actually made of some kind of wood. Now, he wasn't sure, and I don't know one wood from another type, just by looking. It wasn't mahogany, that much I know. He guessed that it was some kind of basswood. But the body is actually made of wood, which on really cheap guitars, you never know. Another thing we had to do, we had to loosen the screws on the Whammy Bar because they were too tight, so that wasn't too great. But now it's set up properly, so we can give it a proper spin. So it came with the Whammy Bar, and one thing that it did was it came with this bag. I mean, it's not a padded bag. Well, it is a bit on the sides here, but not on the back. Slight padding. But any kind of bag with this guitar of this price range is absolutely brilliant. So you pay $100 and you get a bag which in itself would be a couple $20, which takes, I mean, that's just great, really nice. But anyway, the fretboard looks nice as well, and yeah, I mean, it actually looks half decent. I think it looks great for a $100 guitar. I say $100, that's what you get it for in the States. I bought it for $100 on eBay, but I had to pay import charges to Europe. But that was, I think it was 120 something dollars that I paid. It was, I think it was 85 euros. So, let's see what it sounds like, if everything works and so on. Volume, open that. Single coil pickups, there's a bit of noise. So 5-way pickup switch, so you get 2 positions where it doesn't make a lot of noise. That's these 2. Then you get bits of noise with the middle one, and again, no noise with these 2. Okay, so that's the pickup selector. Let's see how these are connected, the tone pots. So I'm guessing that yeah, that one, the back one, isn't hooked to the bridge pickup, which for me, I mean, I like it to be hooked up to that. Some people actually don't. Yeah, that's a preference thing. I like it to be hooked up there, but you can get yeah, sounds very nice actually. Okay, so if you're wondering why I have breakup going on, it's because of my plexi amp. It's never entirely clean. But you can get nice cleans with this just by rolling off the volume. Finished with my woman 'cause she couldn't help me with my mind. Yeah, paranoid. That's not the way it goes. Okay, so the Whammy Bar works surprisingly well. It stays in tune quite nicely with small movements of the Whammy Bar. Let's try a bit more and see how it stays in tune. Okay, so one slightly niggling factor, which will go away with time when you play, is that the frets weren't polished. So you get that kind of thing. It's already slightly less because I've been playing it a bit. This isn't the first time I'm playing this. It's very much in the Squier Affinity type range. Not in terms of price, but in terms of feel and all that. Let me add a bit more gain and see what it does with that. Okay, so with a bit of playing it goes out of tune a bit. Not too bad though, it does take a bit of beating before it goes out of tune. Let's see how badly it goes out of tune when I really give it a proper go. say I'm quite impressed by this thing. Once you get it set up properly and once you get rid of the fret sprouts, which is again becoming a slight issue, but it'll pass with time when you fix it a few times, I think this is fairly nice. I have another guitar in this exact price range. Let me get it. It's this one, the Harley Benton Strat, which costs the same amount as that. And it comes with no bag. And I have to say, I think this is poor compared to that. Actually, the headstock looks remarkably similar. Might be it's made at the same factory, but here we get to the whole kind of problem with budget guitars. It's a problem with all price ranges, really, but it's the worst in with those really cheap guitars, is that you might get one that's great and you might get another that's totally horrible. And that's the trouble with reviewing one of these things, because this one, I'm guessing if you got 10 of these, 9 wouldn't have the problem that this one has. So you get the back side here, where you have the 2 screws that are kind of holding the whole trem bar thing there. And they've actually drilled 3 holes, because the first hole that they've drilled was wrong. It was in the wrong place, so they couldn't fit the screw there, so they didn't even fill the old hole, they just drilled another hole. So the whole back plate here is a bit wonky. Yeah, brilliant workmanship. But it looks to me as if this is actually very similar to that. The headstock is slightly different. Parts look identical, 22 frets. Yeah, whichever way. If you live in the US, I was about to say if you live in the US, this is a great buy. But I rethought that, regardless of where you live, this is a great buy, because you get the bag. And you take a risk with any guitar you buy. I'm not sure about the returns policy, actually. If you're not happy with this, can you return it? I would check that, but other than that, I mean, I think this is it fantastic? I wouldn't quite go that far, because it does take a bit of setting up, and it does have the fret sprout issue and all of that kind of stuff. And if you're a beginner, that stuff can be really annoying, and if you don't know how to do all the setting up, that will cost you a bit extra. So it's a good option, and I think it's actually, I like this more than I like the Squier Bullet, and I actually like it more than I like the Squier Affinity that I reviewed on this channel. And I actually still play that Affinity because I have it at work, so I'm fairly familiar with that particular guitar. That being said, if you buy 10 of these and 10 of the Affinities, I am guessing that the Affinity will come out on top. Maybe not by much, but a bit. But that's just a guess. This particular one, I actually like this. And when playing, I wanted to play more. It wasn't like the Harley Benton, which I just didn't want to play. The Bullet, didn't really want to play that, the one that I tried on this channel. Same with the Affinity that I tried on this channel. I just didn't want to play it. This one I actually liked. One thing that I do recommend, above getting one of these, is that you get something second hand, because this might be $100 new. You could, if you find this second hand, you could get it for 50, and it'll have had all its infancy problems where the wood's dry and all of that. Previous owners will probably have fixed stuff up. They might have screwed stuff up as well, so be aware of that. But again, you can, especially if you can try before you buy, that's great. And you can get some great bargains in the second-hand market. You can maybe even find an Affinity for this price that's better than this. If you can afford a bit more, paying 150, you should get better than this. That being said, out of the new, really budget things that I've tried, this is actually surprisingly good. So, Darrell Braun, I have to agree with you. While I think the use of the word fantastic is a bit over the top, yeah, this is very nice. If you want to watch more of my gear reviews, there's a playlist here. There's a playlist also with my music. I buy the gear that I review, so you get an honest review. If you want to support that, there's a link to my Patreon in the description. You get all of my music, a bunch of exclusives, access to my Guitar Academy through that link as well. Click like if you liked the video, comment, let me know what you thought, subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, I hope you have a nice day. This thing was quite nice.